Hey there, friends. Tired of managing symptoms and struggling for answers? This holistic podcast guides you beyond one-size-fits-all advice to uncover root cause health solutions. I'm Holly Jean Mullen, your functional nutritional therapist host. Drawing from over a decade of clinical and personal experience, I'm here to help you overcome chronic issues like thyroid problems, autoimmune conditions, hormone imbalances, inflammation, weight loss resistance, the list goes on. This isn't generic advice. It's a comprehensive, personalized plan covering nutrition, mindset, and environment. Tune in for practical education, expert guests, real stories, and coaching to help identify what's keeping you stuck. It's time to understand your unique needs and tap into your God-given ability to heal by honoring nature's wisdom. Your transformation starts here. Let's go. Hello, welcome back to Real Health Transformations. Today, I want to have a conversation about healing. And there's a lot of avoidance of the word healing when it comes to anything online because the FDA does not like that word. But we're talking about healing today because the system that we have in place when it comes to health it's failing people. And it has convinced so many that they are broken, that they need endless tests and protocols and specialists just to get answers and just to function. But here we are, like people are still sick. They're still lost. They're still stuck in these cycles of trial and error, and they are not being led to true health. They're not achieving the healing they're looking for. And healing is not about chasing symptoms. It is not found in a test result or another supplement. There's not just going to be one magic bullet. It's going to involve restoring what the body was designed to do. And that means looking at the whole picture. We're going to look at the physical, the biochemical, the energetic components that all comprise our full health. So if you have tried everything, if you're tired of being overwhelmed, if you're exhausted from the confusion, if you're starting to feel like your body is beyond repair, then this episode is for you because you are not broken and you do not have to stay stuck. So I want to talk about something I've been kind of referring to, the triangle of transformation. So if you listened to last week's episode, and I looked at the downloads, none of y'all listened to last week's episode, but I've been going through my own just kind of like navigation of where I want my next step to be, or not where I want it to be, where I'm feeling led for it to be. So in this process, something that's been like coming into my mind is I keep coming back to this triangle of transformation. So I'm going to kind of break that down a little bit. And you're going to maybe love my analogy since it ties into everything I do with health and home. So we're going with that. But just like a home needs a solid foundation, it needs supportive walls, it needs a protective roof, your health requires three sides of this triangle to stay strong. And each side represents a different category for healing. We'll start with the foundation. That is going to be stress, our gut, microbiome, genetics, stress that's going to encompass all the things that cause us stress. And that's going to disrupt hormones. It weakens our immunity. It drains our energy, our gut health. This is our microbiome. This is what dictates digestion and immunity and even ties into mental health. Our genetics, our epigenetics, the stuff we're born with, right? These genes, they set our blueprint, but our lifestyle is what determines how those genes express. So that's the foundation. The walls, this is the physical, the biochemical, the energetic healing, the healing modalities. In the physical, we have movement, manual therapies like massage or chiropractic. Rest, we have structural support. In the biochemical, we have nutrition, supplements, detox, cellular function, the mitochondria. In the energetic, that's where we have frequency, emotions, mindset. This is our vibrational healing. So those are the walls. And then the roof of it all is what integrates it all. It's our integration, it's our balance, because each part of this triangle is interdependent, but neglecting one side weakens the structure. So for holistic healing to happen, it's when all of these parts are working together. And that's what creates resilience and balance. And this analogy, one, helps paint a picture because it's rooted in structure and function. And I hope you can picture this house of walls, a foundation, and a roof to reinforce the idea that healing requires a solid foundation. It requires strong support. It requires an integrative approach to maintain balance. Now, I know that was a lot. And I know I started off saying we're going to get rid of the overwhelm and the frustration and the confusion. And that was a lot, but I just wanted to paint that picture for you so you can see how all of these things are important, but that doesn't mean you have to do every single one of them all the time or at once, or not all of us need all of those things to be addressed at the exact same time, right? I'm painting the picture of what goes in to the full scenario because it cannot be compartmentalized. Now, there's a physical approach. It's the obvious. It's the body. The physical health is the most tangible thing. It's the most measurable, yet it's the part that we often neglect. We wait until we're in pain. We wait until we've broken down. We wait until something goes wrong when we start having symptoms, and then we scramble to fix it. But your body is not a machine that just needs to go in for a tune-up. It's this beautiful, living, breathing, adaptable system that's always working to heal. That is all our body wants to do, is keep us safe and keep us healed. That's all it's meant to do, right? When we move, when we stretch, we strengthen, we're not just changing like muscles and joints. Those actions change the chemistry in our body. It shifts energy. It unlocks healing pathways that no pill could ever replicate. So movement is not optional. It is necessary for healing. Structural integrity impacts everything from digestion to detox to emotional resilience. And on that same front, rest is just as powerful as action because our healing is what happens when we're in recovery. So the physical healing lays this foundation here. But again, it's not the whole picture. It's what we build upon for next that makes a difference, right? We're building. So the biochemical approach, this is chemistry, all about the chemistry. This is where most of the wellness world gets stuck. We are over obsessing over diets. We are over obsessing over supplements and superfoods and gut tests and hormone panels and lab markers. And it's as if we think we can outscience the body's natural intelligence. We're so naive, right? I bought into it. I have bought into this. I bought into it for a long time. I would say probably even up until like this last year. I ordered the expensive tests. I've analyzed the micronutrients and the bacteria strains and all the hormone fluctuations. And you know what I learned is that most people do not need more data to feel better. They need better foundations. They need a better understanding of all of these elements and how they work together. Real food, real nourishing food, that is literally a medicine. We need nourishment. We need minerals to function. Minerals are the spark plugs of our life. I hate that analogy. I need to come up with a new one. I don't like calling them spark plugs. They're more important than spark plugs. But without minerals, nothing works. We need blood sugar stability because that is the key to our metabolic and our hormone balancing. We need detoxification. Those mechanisms are built into us. But it's not about extreme cleanses. It's about supporting our body daily through food, through the right food, through hydration, through reducing those toxic exposures where we can, instead of just having the mindset of, oh, everything's going to kill me. Everything's toxic. Why even bother? It matters. When we can control what we're exposed to, it has a huge impact. We can do it without going crazy. But most people, they don't need another stool test. They don't need to stop. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. When it comes to testing, we don't need another gut test. You don't need a GI map. You don't need another stool test. You need to stop inflaming your gut with ultra processed food, with your extreme stress, with the chemicals that you're allowing into your home through your products. That all is stressing your gut out. That's killing your microbiome. You don't need another test of your gut to tell you to stop doing the things that you're doing. Okay. Most people don't need a full hormone panel. They need to eat. They need to move their body. They need to rest in alignment with their body's natural rhythms. They need to set boundaries and start saying no to I almost said the S word, to the stuff that they don't want to do, but they make themselves do because they feel bad saying no. Most people don't need some extreme restrictive diet. They need nourishment. Lordy, oh lordy, ladies, I can't tell you how many of you I have had come to me saying, my hormones are out of balance. I've tried everything. I need help. And I've been that person too. So I'm not making fun of you. I'm not mocking you. But my first response here is, girl, you need to feed yourself. I'm looking at your food journals. I've seen all this, ladies. You don't eat. We need nourishment. You need minerals. You need real food that supports your body at a foundational level. I'm not saying there's no reason to ever get tests or labs. Yes, but after you've addressed the foundations, because they work. They work. I'm going to go back to minerals for a second because they are not optional. They are essential. We need minerals to activate enzymes, to regulate hydration, to keep your nervous system firing properly. You're in a bad mood, you probably need a mineral. When you're low on minerals, you might feel fatigued, have brain fog, muscle cramps, anxiety, and yes, hormonal imbalances. But sadly, our modern diets, our depleted soils, it has made mineral deficiencies way too common. And it isn't about fancy testing. It's just about giving the body what it needs. This is why so many people feel lost. They're drowning in information, but missing the wisdom that says your body is designed to heal when you give it the right environment, when you nourish it, when you support it. Now, this next section, don't get all weirded out on me. This is not woo-woo. And I actually have another episode planned that's just going to be all about this energetic approach, because I do feel that as Christians, we have been misguided here, and we've been misguided towards the spectrum of fear and avoidance when it comes to anything energetic. And I am going to shed some new light on this for you and maybe just help you to see how that has been perverted to make us fear it. Another topic, another day. But the energetic, this part of the healing, this is the part that the system really refuses to acknowledge. Because if people knew how powerful their minds, their emotions, and their energy truly are, then the entire Western medical model would collapse. We are not just flesh and bones. We are frequencies. We are vibrations. We are light. And every thought carries a biochemical reaction. Every emotion shapes our physiology. And when trauma and fear and stress are trapped in the body, no supplement, no diet, and no protocol can override that. If you have chronic pain, that's often tied to unresolved emotions and past experiences, anxiety, depression. More often than not, that's just neurotransmitters. There's an energetic imbalance there. Autoimmune conditions, I hate the phrase the body is attacking itself. I never think our body's going to attack itself. Our body is protecting itself. We got to figure out why it is having symptoms of attacking itself. But that's all starting with a nervous system that's been in survival mode for way too long. Just now, finally, science is catching up to this, starting to acknowledge this, the quantum physics, the bioenergetics, the photobiomodulation. It's all proving what ancient wisdom is already known. And that is that our body is listening to our thoughts. Your cells are responding to your beliefs. And healing is not just physical. It is a shift in frequency, in vibration, and in energy. And this is why people stay stuck. It's because they're only addressing one level. Maybe it's the physical. Maybe it's the biochemical. Or maybe it is just the energetic and skipping the other stuff. But we need to align the physical, the biochemical, and the energetic, because that is when the transformation happens. I'd say it even begins with just accepting and acknowledging that all these three things are in play, because it opens your mind to asking better questions. Instead of saying, what supplement can I take to help my mood or to balance my period? You start to ask, why is my body doing this? What is going on in my life, in my environment, in my thoughts that are causing my body to respond this way? It opens us up to being able to ask better questions. And that is when the impossible becomes possible. And I could say more about faith there, but I will save that. The overlap of all of these, why all three are necessary, is because the healing process isn't about just choosing one path. It's about the integration. Because a chiropractor isn't just adjusting your bones, your skeletal system. They're influencing the body's energy flow. A nourishing meal spent with people that you love, it's not just feeding your body, it is shifting your vibrational state. Addressing stored trauma, that's not just emotional. Addressing stored trauma can resolve chronic pain, can preserve immune function. It can end digestive issues. These are huge things. And we are not separate systems operating independently. We are whole beings. And when we stop compartmentalizing our health and we start seeing it as this interconnected, beautiful masterpiece, the amazing masterpiece that it is, that we will never, ever, 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 in all of our scientific advances, we will never understand the magnificence of what we are. But if we could just start to comprehend it, like that's when we take back our power. I heard a funny joke the other day, and it was like, oh gosh, I'm terrible at telling jokes, but it was something about like the science versus God. And the scientists came to God and they said, we have figured out how to make a human. Like, we don't need you anymore, God. We have figured out how to make a human out of dirt, just like you did in the beginning of time. We are going to make a human out of dirt. We have all the technology to do it. We have all the studies that show how this is going to work. So we're going to do it. And God says, okay, all right, go ahead. Let me see you do it. So they start doing it. And he goes, oh, hold on a minute. You got to get your own dirt. That is how powerful our Creator is. Nothing on this earth has been created by man. It's all been here before us. All of it. We don't even understand so much of it. We haven't even explored so much of it. So we are ignorant in thinking that we could look at one part and think we get it, because we don't. So to wrap this up, just if you're struggling, if you feel like you've tried everything, like, I want you to just hear this. You are not broken. Your body is not failing you. It is fighting for you always. Every single symptom, every ounce of fatigue, every flare up is your body's way of trying to get your attention. And it's asking for change. It's asking for nourishment. It's asking for alignment. So ask yourself, am I moving my body in a way that supports healing? Am I feeding my body what it actually needs to thrive? And am I releasing the emotional and energetic weight that's been holding me back, or that I've been suppressing, or that I've been ignoring? Because healing is not a mystery. It is ours. It is ours for the taking. And it's not a secret locked behind lab tests or expensive practitioners and protocols and prescriptions. It is within you. It has always been within you. And this is exactly why I created the Body Wisdom Journal. If you don't know where to start here. It's free. It is your first step towards connecting with your body and understanding its signals and giving it what it truly needs. So download it, get started. It's in my show notes. It's on my website. You can't miss it. Like I said, it's free. I made it for you because I so strongly believe that it is the best starting place for when you don't know what your next step is. So if you're listening to this show, you're ready. I know you're ready. You're ready to reclaim your health, and you're ready to step out of the confusion and the fear and the lies that the world tells us, because your body is waiting, and I promise you healing is possible. So I am going to close this out in prayer. Okay. Heavenly Father, you are the author of life. You are the designer of every breath and the keeper to our souls. And in a world that pulls us to doubt and fear and to seek answers that are outside of you, I pray that you remind us that your wisdom is written in us. It is signed on every cell, your signature, all throughout us. And you have created our bodies with purpose. You've created our minds with strength, and our spirits with the ability to discern truth. I pray that you just help us to trust in a way that you have made for us, to listen to the rhythms of our bodies, and to honor the healing that you have built within, and to walk in faith rather than fear. And may we turn from the confusion, that the enemy wants us to get stuck in, and that we just lean into the divine design that you have given us. So let our trust in you be our peace and our guide and our firm foundation. So in Jesus' name, amen. Thank you all. I will see you next time. Thanks for listening to Real Health Transformations. I appreciate you joining me. If you found value in what we covered today, I'd be grateful if you could leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. It really helps spread the word and just helps me get the show out to more people and lets more people find us. And if you'd like to submit a question for me to answer on a coaching episode or to apply to be a live guest on a coaching episode, check out the show notes on how to contact me for that. The show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. As always, please consult your trusted doctor or medical professional before making health and lifestyle changes. I'll catch you next time on Real Health Transformations.